This is Sal. You are watching SalTV, competitive TF2, rambling, and other shenanigans. And today we're going to start rambling about this guy's hat. This is Blank of the Mad Men, and he pretty much looks like the poorest guy on this entire team. Yes, you can be poor in TF2, and if you are wearing the party hat and the sunglasses, you're pretty much it. But today's match is going to be between the Mad Men and HRG. Hopefully my volume is not horrendous, so we're going to have to test this out in just a second. But let's see what happens when Blank starts rocket jumping around all over the place. Mad Men versus HRG, and so there is a good reason that I am casting this particular game. We'll go over that in just 1 minute. Okay, figured it out. Yes, my sound is perfectly fine. I'm really happy about that, actually. Now you'll notice that Blank is not only invisible, but also does not have the little skull and crossbones above his head. That means, of course, this is on the old patch. This match was played about a month ago, in July 9th. The results are already well known, and I'm sure it was casted on TFTV already, but there's a good reason I'm choosing this particular game. It's because apparently there's a really close one between the Mad Men, who I believe were promoted from intermediate last season. A lot of really popular names in that team, and they are a very good team. But it's the Mad Men versus HRG. HRG, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, going to I-49 in less than a month. HRG is going to be the team. They are pretty awesome. I was going to say something else, and then I realized it might actually spoil this for those of you who don't want it spoiled. And I just realized that little pause there. I might have actually spoiled it anyway. Who knows? If you're intelligent enough to think about what I was going to say, should be good. Shade taking a couple rockets, but he holds on to the Uber. This is why Shade is so good. He is, and even Pure has said this. I think he actually may have said it in the documentary or maybe afterwards. But basically, Shade is just on top of his game. And yes, by the way, our documentary is coming out too. There's so much stuff that I have to talk about. Usually, I'm like making a video a day, and I can talk about all this stuff like one video at a time, but I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up on a week's worth of stuff. So the I-46 documentary, XTV produced, I directed, Luke did all the actual work, actually coming out this Friday and Saturday. If you want to help support Luke doing all the actual work, the price is $5. If you don't want to support him, though, it's going to be free on YouTube. So you can check that out either way. Should be a pretty good one. We're all happy about that. Shade going for the crossbow shot, not really hitting anything. He's going to be in some trouble here as the rest of his team tries to save his butt here. I think he's going to, yeah, RR should probably be able to take him out. He's going to see the med going straight down that way. Oh, hits him once with the air. Oh, in comes Shade for the attack on RR. Could have gotten that demo kill, which wouldn't have been super good, but if you can take the demo down, it can slow down the enemy team's advance considerably. Actually, RR managed to, just barely could not get Banny there. Banny down to about 84 health, but the scouts came in to save him. Anyway, so, documentary, yes. I-49, I will be there. And I have been asked to cast the American game, so of course I gotta cast HRG as much as I can because they're the home team. But we're gonna have HRG, the only American team going this time, so they are America's best and brightest, the greatest hope. And Banny's looking a little different than normal. I'm not used to seeing him with the classier look, but today he is all spikes and skulls and just intimidation, pure intimidation out of this guy. Yes, so HRG, America's brightest hope. For I-49, once again, hopefully we can conquer the European teams, but I think Europe's going to be a little bit more prepared this time around, so, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're going to have some stiffer competition over there. And not only that, but there's also Team IM, Team Immunity, from Australia, and you guys have seen, if you've watched enough games on my channel, you have seen a few games from IM. If you've watched Griever TV, you've probably seen them a lot. They're like the ultimate undefeated. I know I'm missing all the fighting. I know, just bear with me. They're like the ultimate Australian team. They've won almost every tournament ever in Australia and New Zealand, the Oz Fortress scene. So, IM is going to be pretty good. They might be complacent from being on top, you'd think. But apparently they've decided that they're going to go spend a full week in advance of I-49. They're going to show up. They're going to do a lot of scrims against the European teams for like 3 days in advance of the actual group stages. So, I'm thinking IM's taking this pretty darn seriously. Oh, nice sticky trap by RR. So we should get back to the game here as HRG. We're going to be watching them here and just seeing how well they do. This, of course, is still like 2 months in advance of this game was played, 2 months in advance of I-49. But HRG, a really good team, and we're going to see who can give them the fight of their life here in Mad Men. Shade once again retreating, and I don't think we've had a single score yet here on Gullywash, so HRG must be, they're either doing something wrong or they've just run up against a brick wall in the Mad Men. Does this bode well for I-49? Who knows? But anyway, I did try to cast a European game maybe a week or two ago, so you can check that one out too to get an idea of what the flavor of the actual matches is going to be, because remember, the matches at I-49, they are going to be the Euro style, you know, 30-minute time limits, 5-win different type games. Whereas this is ESEA, this is American style, baby. We got 60-minute games. We've got 2 halves, and a lot more unlocks allowed. Memphis Vaughn down, you must mic down. I haven't even talked about the players in these teams. And of course, when I'm saying you must mic or Mike anyway, and Memphis Vaughn, names like those should ring a bell if you are familiar with the scene. If you're not, that's okay. We do, of course, have basically the Madmen in red right now. It's a team full of some very, very staunch old players. You've got Banny sitting here helping to get the capture. Very strong players who are very familiar with the TF2 scene. Some of them have taken time off. So you have RR, for instance, and Memphis Vaughn. Both of them maybe took at least 1 or 2 seasons away from TF2, or they spent time down in lower leagues just kind of having fun rather than playing in the invite scene. Oh, Nosferatu down. That's going to be a pretty good pick. But Banny down as well means a lot of damage is off the field for HRG. Nice jumping by Lansky, though. The pocket soldier for HRG. I think this might actually be a point. You do see a lot of damage coming into that point right now. It's just Lansky left alone by himself, though. And no, the Madmen managed to defend Gullywash last again. They can't get off that last point, but, you know, they are doing a pretty good job on defense. But yeah, Memphis Vaughn and RR are both taking a lot of time off. Nosferatu is hailed as one of the great medics of all time, although I don't remember seeing too much of him. I know I've cast him once or twice. Blank, an amazing, amazing demo. Can he actually give... well, he's not playing demo, so here's the thing. He's playing soldier now. And he's a really good soldier, too, but I remember he has a reputation on Demo Man. But no, they're giving Demo Man to RR, who is also spectacular. Mike and Seymour, both the scouts. Seymour, I want to say I've played once or twice with him in like 66 pickup games a long time ago, and he's just ridiculous. So, of course, my judge of skill is really bad because everything kills me, but he is ridiculous. Meanwhile, you've got HRG, the American all-star team, going over to I-49. This time around, they don't have Mackie, and Mackie was the one at I-46 when they went last time around. He was the one who was wearing the American Eagle shirt up on that grand stage and kind of giving the V for victory. So it gives you an idea of the caliber of player they have lost. It's terribly sad, but RR right now just trying to keep enemies out of his last point. But to replace Mackie on that roaming soldier, they do in fact have Tag. And Tag, I mean, he's been streaming all the time. I don't think he streams anymore right now because his internet's bad, but he still puts videos on YouTube of just hilarious stuff that happens while he's gaming because he's always recording. But Tagrung is absolutely hilarious. He does a really fantastic job on roaming soldier too, and that probably wasn't the very best example. He got juggled up in the air and caught out of position here. You see a couple players damaged, but Shade down, so HRG, they're not going to be able to hit this unless there's some kind of a miracle play here by the scout and the demo, but they've already been spotted out, so I don't think it's going to happen. Shrugger trying to just keep that medic peppered and back inside his last point. Anyway, I was saying Tag, he's hilarious, he's an awesome roamer. He really came into his own like 1 or 2 seasons ago, so he's relatively new to the invite scene, but when he came to the first ESEA land of his life, was it last land or the land before, he showed up and he just dominated, and HRG, this team, they might have been called something different, but I think they won the first land that he was there at. Maybe the second. Maybe it was the second. But regardless, I mean, the land was really his breakout performance, and ever since then he's just been regarded as one of the best roamers around in the game right now, at least last I heard. Of course, it's been like 2 months, but whatever. Shade, of course, like I said, on top of his game as a med. You've got Banny on the demo, and he has played demo since almost the dawn of time. Of course, Seabear would know better than I do that he's actually played, he started out as a soldier. RR, what are you doing? Oh, no! It's caught out there, so HRG should have a pretty good position to push in. You do have, of course, on the scouts, Shrugger and Sizer. Sizer is notorious for practicing TF2 almost more than anybody else does. Shrugger has, like, perfect dodging skills. And then, finally, the pocket, Lansky. Now, we've got Sizer on the sniper right now, and he is decent at aiming, although he doesn't have quite the reputation that, like, Clockwork has on sniper, for instance. Clockwork was seen as, like, just an incredible beast aim type of guy. But no, right now, HRG ready to push in once again. They've got Mike down. That's 1 scout off the field, but he will be respawning in about 2 seconds, so let's see what he comes in as. Maybe like a heavy weapons guy, or maybe just a scout. In fact, he does choose just a scout. So you're going to have Sizer here. Actually taking some of the Uber just to make sure he stays alive, but he's been spotted, so he's not going to do much. He did get a nice little headshot off on Blank, but it wasn't enough to kill him. Because, once again, Madmen's defense on this last point is just so good. This is something that... It's going to be a little bit different, of course, in the European scene, but you are going to see a lot of really strong defensive plays, I think. Oh, what a shot on RR, though. So Sizer just sitting there, and he's like, yeah, there's a scout in my face. I don't care. Takes down the demo man anyway. So that's actually a really, really important pick. They traded a sniper for a demo. So what you're going to see is HRG, they want to go in. They don't even have an Uber right now, but if there's no demo man, it almost doesn't matter. Sorry for bumping the mic there, but they do want to go in because there's not going to be any stickies on the point, so they can try and dive bomb into that point. Tag gets launched off the field. Memphis going for that skill stick hit, but it's not going to happen. Banny's down. It's just Sizer left alive. He might be able to kill Nosferatu here, but no, it looks like just barely dodging out of the way while the rest of his team gets the kills. Nosferatu is on the case, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like he has just solved the defense of Gullywash. That almost sounds actually like, you know, a Sherlock Holmes book, doesn't it? Sherlock Holmes and the defense of Gullywash. Where is Moriarty is the only question. I think the answer is going to be as soon as Banny comes back. We will see. We'll see exactly where Moriarty is. HRG, though, now suddenly put a little bit on the back foot. They are not going to be able to contest that middle point. They severe Uber disadvantage. So how are they going to even this up is the question. I would imagine with Tag. Tag is kind of hiding upstairs right now. He's waiting for his opponents to come in, but they were looking for him, so Tag in a little bit of trouble here. He is still going to try and pop that Uber. He'll get the kill on RR or something, but that just did not work out. Still, it's the right thing for the roamer to do. Even if it doesn't work out, sometimes you need that roamer just to play spoiler a little bit. Problem is, now HRG's down 2 players, and you got Memphis already pushing into last, and he is a very, very spectacular soldier himself. Did get another little skill stick hit on somebody, but that was Lansky, and in fact, Lansky manages to finish him off with the shotgun. By the way, Lansky is like, he looks like he's the youngest person in TF2. I don't know if he actually is, and oh, he's dead. No, just barely didn't save him there. That was a bad pop by Shade. So a little bit of trouble here for the Madmen. Surprised they're not going back in for this, but I guess they just got spammed out of this choke point right here. Oh, hello, look who's up there again. It's Tag, and this time around it might pay off a little bit better. No, he still died. He did, however, manage to keep Blank highly damaged. So the one thing that Tag did there was prevent the red team from being aggressive. And that is quite a useful thing when you're trying to cap a point. He had the high ground advantage that whole time. But the Madmen will go ahead and recapture, and they're going to try and make another push here into HRG. Sizer going down, meanwhile. Didn't manage to catch that one. RR going for the hit on the sticky. An uncharacteristic lack of detonation there by Banny, but I guess he was trying to set something else up. So go ahead and hop back to his med. And this time around, we're going to see the heavy weapons guy. This is HRG. They know how to defend a point. And one of those ways to do that is to set the heavy up on the point. Invincible heavy, in fact. Okay. All right. The Uber is just fading, and there you go. The the stickies. Oh, the stickies. Okay, so RR, if he had been able to watch that, would have detonated those, maybe gotten some damage. Probably not a kill, but you saw how close the med was just standing on those. Shrugger finally realized they were there, and he started hoovering them up with this this giant vacuum cleaner he has. Sorry, camera work is bad. That's all right, though. So you're going to see a little aggression by HRG, but no, Lansky didn't take down once again. You do see RR with just impeccable sticky bomb aim right now. He's got good positioning, good aim. See Moo instead of see more. I thought it was see more. Yeah, whatever. You must see Moo. I could do that. But we are going to see a lot of pressure put on HRG as they try to push out here. For some reason, my game is stuttering. Could just be memory issues. I've got a lot of extra games from that Steam sale now, and so, like, recording these tends to take a couple of gigs worth of raw footage. So I'm thinking just the fact that I don't have all that many gigs left on my computer is probably the problem. Anyway, both teams have an Uber right now, so Madmen, I don't know if they're going to be able to do a lot here. They don't have any pick classes right now, so they're just going to have to try and force a pop somehow. Maybe push in, then rotate back out, and hope they get a better Uber position from that. Sizer, meanwhile, is sniping on defense. So HRG, I think they've pulled all the right moves for defense right now. The only question is whether... Oh, well, he managed to take down Tag. I don't know what he was doing, but I think Tag managed to... No, I don't know. He may not even done any damage. Didn't see it. Too busy watching the sniper. No, I think this is all the right moves for HRG on defense. So, Madmen shouldn't be able to do too much. Shouldn't. But, you know, I say that S word all the time, and then I turn out to be wrong every single time. The should or should not word. So, let's see if that actually works. RR down means that HRG might think about getting aggressive, but here's... Oh, yeah, they're going to be aggressive. And here's the thing. It's really like it's 3 versus 6 right now, because Mike, unless he can get some wicked nasty headshots here, he's basically useless. Oh, going for the shot on the med! The med saw him from afar and popped that Uber just to make sure that he kept himself alive, didn't drop it. That is, of course, the motto of practically everybody who's ever played TF2. Pop it, don't drop it. And I think, you know, even if you're a pub player who just likes to sit back in in pubs and play med, you can learn a lot from these guys. You'll see them trying to hold on to an Uber for, you know, whatever reason. But I recall when I first started playing TF2, and interesting right now. But when I first started playing TF2, I was really holding those Ubers for far too long. I was waiting until I got hurt, and then I would pop them. And that's not what you want to do. You'll see that what Shade and what Nosferatu both are doing is using these Ubers whenever their team needs them to either gain territory or keep themselves alive. That's really the important part. You got Shade keeping Banny just barely alive right now. He doesn't have the Uber yet, and he is going to be in a little bit of trouble here if that soldier decides to chase him down, which of course he does not. Part of the problem of trying to cast TF2, not much of a problem, but it's so much faster paced than everything else out there. You see Shade almost has his Uber. There you go. Going to have it so he can keep this alive. 2 players left right now, and it is going to be Uber versus Uber exchange. This is not a good position for the Mad Men. The only hope for them is to get that med out and pop the Uber out of Shade. Shade, what are you doing? Oh my god, 31 health left. He's still alive, though. So for some reason, Shade is just so good at TF2. Now, why did Shade pick that moment not to pop the Uber? I'll tell you why. Tag with a nice skill on the med, by the way. I'll tell you exactly why that is. It's because he really wanted his team to be able to be aggressive out the gate. He wanted them to be able to take this point, take the mid point, and having a 100% Uber advantage like this is going to give them the opportunity to do exactly that. So, good play by Shade. Very risky, of course. If that soldier had gotten one little shotgun shell off at him or one more rocket, it would have been the death of this poor med, but he managed to stay alive, and I like it. So we're going to watch what Shade does next, as the Uber is probably going to get popped through this choke point, I would imagine. We're going to watch the Uber percentage of Shade, and he does go ahead and pop that at 24 health left. That was a little scary, but Shade, he plays it scary, man, and that, if you do it right, it's perfect. Right now, Tag helping to get the cap. They just want to get this as quickly as possible. It's not going to really matter because Memphis is the only one who will be pushed back to the last spawn of the map. But that's all right. They want to make sure they've got it. They're set up. They are ready to push into the next one. Nosferatu, the med, is, of course, at 55% Uber right now. And this is quite a close game. I got to say, for all of the rambling that I have done, there has been a lot of action going on practically everywhere. Blank playing that good old pocket soldier right now. Just trying to keep his med, building that Uber. But actually, the Uber percentages have really evened up here, and you are maybe going to see these guys go in as soon as they have it. He's thinking about it. Yeah, okay, there they go. Doesn't see any stickies right away. It looks like they have mostly been detonated on a scout. Didn't even hit C-Moo all that much. So, who pops the Uber first? Really, normally what you see out of a Gullywash situation like this is that the team invading the point goes ahead and pops it right away, but Tag down, Blank down in exchange, and it's actually the defenders who pop the Uber first. Now you have the Madmen pushing in and popping, but normally you pop that Uber just so that you avoid all the sticky traps, and somehow Banny's sticky traps did not work very well. RR doing some damage, so better Uber for Madmen maybe, but now they're losing players here. RR is going to die to that scout, not able to get away from this, and so HRG somehow managed to hold on despite having popped their Uber first. I don't want to say it was a bad Uber, but it was definitely interesting that the defenders on Gullywash mid actually popped first. Not often do you see that. That's kind of my point. There's a lot of words to basically say 3. 5? How many words is not often? Not often do you use? 6. It's 6 words. I got it. By the way, guys, if you need an accountant, just let me know. Let me know. Most of the time I eventually get to the right number. But no, we have Madmen once again back in familiar territory, defending their last point. Memphis Vaughn laying waste to this hallway right now. Nobody's going to be able to get in there without taking a little bit of damage. But do recall that the further away you are from those rockets, the less you're going to hit, even from a direct. So he's really only doing maybe 50 damage per hit. Here comes the Uber. Nosferatu nowhere close. So this might just be the first round going to HRG. Who knows? Nice little kill by Banny on Mike. But actually, not a lot happened yet. Shrugger in, kills Blank, not dead yet. Somehow he is the ultimate dodging scout. Nobody can hit him finally. Memphis is just like, oh, screw this. Takes out the stick, whacks him with it, but there you go. Shrugger stayed in there for long enough, I think, to get everything done. He was distracting Memphis. He stayed alive far longer than any other scout ever would have in that situation. And that's part of the value of Shrugger. I mean, he's known as being just this impossible to hit, perfect dodging scout, especially online. But even at the last LAN, when he actually had his actual materials. His first LAN ever, by the way, was a disaster for him because he didn't bring his keyboard and his mouse. and he did really awful as a result. He had to use other people's hardware, and it just did not work well. But he brought his own keyboard and mouse the next time around, which is what you're supposed to do, and did a really good job. So, this time around, Madmen are definitely going to win this. I don't like the decision by HRG to stay in right now. What are they doing? Oh, they're trying to get Shade safe, but it's not going to happen. That's going to be a wipeout for HRG, actually. No Shade. Shade does like to play it a little dangerous with that Uber Saw, but it just was not going to happen. Both scouts taking him out. Simu trying to make the jump, failing it the first time. There you go. Managed to hop up that. In case you're wondering how to do that, because it's not easy. It's a bit of a crouch jump, a bit of a strafe, and then you use your second jump while you're up there. Anyway, I've done it before. It's hard to describe, actually, because some of the terms for TF2 are just, you gotta know the vocabulary. The vernacular. I'm gonna use my 50-cent words today. In comes the Uber from the Madmen. They have a big advantage. The Pyro, the Heavy are both out, but the Pyro is down already. RR is going to keep himself alive underneath the point, but that means he's not dealing damage for a couple of critical seconds. There goes the Heavy, and so I think Madmen are going to have this one nice and easy. A little bit of damage coming in by RR. He waited until both Demo and the Med were going to hop on top of the Sticky. Hop on top. Almost sounds like a Dr. Seuss book, doesn't it? Hop on top of the Sticky. Somebody write it. I'm not going to write it. I'm terrible at rhyming things, especially under pressure. People are like, hey, what rhymes with hop? And I'm like, oh man, wait, hop? Okay, anyway, HRG getting out there nice and fast. Tag going for a couple of shots through the little, I don't even know what that's called. I don't know if there's a particular term for that, but through the bunker, I guess, beneath this giant nipple on the point. Tag does get taken down. He's done a little bit of damage to the Madmen. And this time I think Shade is going to be in a better position. He really got burned last time around, but you're going to see high ground right now to HRG, but they are kind of bottled up, and Shade is down, so that's going to be a nice little midpoint win, I think, for the Madmen. Yep, good kill on... Who was that, actually? Who just bombed in? Lansky, yeah, sorry. Good kill on Lansky, who did try and go for the enemy med. It's kind of a last-ditch effort to save his team another round, but it's not going to happen. So, you're going to see Madmen with 100% Uber advantage once again, quickly jumping into that last point. You'll see they're actually being very cautious about this, with the Demo and Pocket Soldier both trying to keep the meds safe, looking for sticky traps, looking for all kinds of shenanigans. Blank's already upstairs, trying to clear the way here, and at this point, I think HRG are pretty much just back on their point. So, where are they? Where are they? Where are my outlines? There we go. There's my outline. I don't know why those disappeared, honestly. Maybe I just restarted it. So, yep, incoming team all from that river side, and you do see Tag down already. I guess he was going for a quick pick on the med or a quick force. Not going to happen, though, as they all came in from upstairs. So, Pyro out once again, going to try and block this Uber from getting to his med, but it almost doesn't matter. Somebody's got to get in here and stop the point, and right now, that's not going to happen. There you go. Blank is down. Memphis Vaughn taking some damage from this Pyro, but he does get the kill. HRG all down. It's another round for the Madmen. So these guys are looking pretty good. I realize I say that all the time. That's one of my key catchphrases. Looking pretty good. I realize that the problem is that I slow down when I'm saying those words because I always realize that I'm saying it, and I'm always like, oh, I don't want to say this, but what else can I say after looking? I can say solid, but that's even worse. Ah! So that's kind of where I am on that particular piece of English. HRG out. They don't want to lose this round. That would bring it to halftime at a 3-1 score, which I don't think they'd be very happy about. But right now, they are getting pressured. Now, good kill on Mike, who is trying to take down the med, trying to chase him out. And a good little fighting retreat here from HRG. He's actually going to do a lot of damage. Banny could get taken out here, though. And we have the benefit of seeing these outlines. Of course, Banny does not. I really love this outline thing, by the way. It is made by Blue. I think he has 2 E's on his name, so Blue with an extra E. But made by this guy named Blue, who just decided one day, maybe 6 months ago, that he was going to code a TF2 add-on that would make spectating so much easier. And it really does. It's just super awesome. So, you know, send him some thanks. I sent him money. I was just like, hey man, thanks for letting me use this. Do you have a PayPal? And he goes, well, I hadn't really thought about charging. He's such a nice guy. He was like, I hadn't really thought about charging for it, but I guess here's a PayPal. So I sent him what I thought was a reasonable amount for the usage of his program. I highly recommend that you guys give him a slap on the back if you ever see him in real life, or if you ever see him in a game or anything. Just be like, oh my god, it's Blue. Your TF2's savior. Sizer, meanwhile... Oh, they got to look back here. There was someone back there. We saw the... There you go, it was Memphis Bond. We saw the outline. Sizer's going to try and poke as much as he can around here as sorry, I pulled my mouth away from the microphone. I think that HRG should be able to cap this. And so then we'll see possibly, oh, maybe not. There is an Uber, so we're going to see Shade pop this well after the Madmen do. And you notice one thing about that med, he didn't pop when he was taking damage. He's still at 150, which is actually a great thing to do. If you can pop when you have 150, it means that you don't have to worry about finding yourself quite as much of an escape route. Because if you pop when you're down at like 30 health as a med, you're going to come out of that Uber at something more like 50 health. And that's still just not enough to do anything other than try and find yourself an escape route. So if you pop at 150, it means that you can stay in just like you would in a normal fight. After the Uber's done, of course. You know what I mean. HRG now, of course, capping the middle point just like they wanted to. That was a good exchange for them because they managed to hold the Uber much longer. They got a couple of kills. And it wasn't the end of the world for Madmen, but you are going to see HRG be just a bit aggressive now. And Sizer looking for traps. Doesn't see any. Now, all the Madmen are pretty much playing far back. I think they've already abandoned this unless they want to try and go in right now. And that's, in fact, what they're going to do. They were just keeping their bed safe until the Uber was ready to go. They're going to try and stop this. There you go. Good catch in midair on whoever that was, Blank, I guess. But Memphis Vaughn was the one who needed it. He is dead. So they've gotten a couple of kills. Shrugger and Vanny are down, but you're going to see Sizer. Oh, no! Sizer was trying to chase down the med, walked over those sticks, and Shade took the Uber off him at just the wrong moment. So maybe a lack of communication or just the wrong expectations. Mike manages to take down Tag up there. No, it's Lansky. Tag's also down as well, but that was RR with the kill on Tagarung. So Madmen turning this right back around. HRG just a little bit shaky in this game. And I don't know why that is really. The Madmen have pulled out all the stops, or whether it's HRG. It's not like they're using any subs. They're just maybe not playing very hard. I don't know. But at this point in the season, when they played Madmen, they were still undefeated. So you don't want to lose that kind of a record. Of course, I think for HRG, it's not as bad as for their fans, right? That when your fans see that you're undefeated until a certain point, then it's like, oh, it could have been. You know, for HRG, they're just like, you know, we're going to make the playoffs. We're going to win the playoffs. That's what we care about. But I think they were undefeated last season too. So if they end up undefeated this season, it's even bigger accomplishment because they'll have. I'm pretty sure they also went undefeated in the LAN. So I mean, they might have like one of the longest winning streaks in American TF2 history. It's pretty crazy. There you go, though. It's 3-1, so we're gonna go to halftime. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The match is live in the second half. And we're going to see how the rollout favors HRG this time, or if it even does. Why is one of those guys' outlines red? The medic's outline is red. What? So let's try and fix that. There we go, I fixed it. Anyway, Sizer using this drop down kind of creatively. He's going to sneak around behind his enemy team. They may spot him here, but he has correctly predicted the med is going to be up here, and the Demo Man, they're almost by themselves. Yep, does get 2 picks in a row. Sizer, the beautiful play, 3 in fact. Sizer with that 3 kill on this point. He in fact takes down Blank as well. So 4 kills that mid-fight for Sizer. Apparently Memphis forgot what color he was. Things just did not go well there for the Madmen. So you are going to see that kind of play from HRG at I-49, I'm pretty sure. You're going to see that kind of dominance as long as they can do what they do best. And in fact, what they do best is play on LAN. Actually, HRG is just like super LAN proven. So incoming Demo Man trying to stop this. Sizer will get away just temporarily. And we're going to wait to see whether the Madmen really do anything. They do take down Sizer, so they might be feeling a little bit better about pushing out. And in fact, they do. No Uber just yet, but they know their opponents don't have one either. They're able to push them back out, take some territory. But there is the potential for a back cap, so they actually had to retreat. There you go. Nice kill on Mike by Lansky. I think that was 2 direct shots from the rocket launcher. Simu, oh, this was a bad idea. He will get away somehow. I would not have got. Oh, Kritzkrieg's out! That's going to be Nosferatu down, and a good choice of crits by Shade. So that, of course, the Kritzkrieg build is just a little bit faster than normal, so they may not have been expecting an Uber right there, and that might have been why Seymour pushed out. He might not have been thinking that there was actually going to be anything coming through that hallway. And he was like, wait a minute, there's something here. This is not right. I don't think he got an Uber saw hit, did he? And then the crits happened. Tag. Going to jump straight over this point, or not. In fact, he's not going to jump straight over this point. He's going to go under it. Helping out his scout, get the kill on Blank. 2 scouts there, both of them eating some splash damage from that rocket. So Tag's rockets look pretty excellent right now. He's able to do some damage to the med over there as well. He needs some heals, but Shade's not around, and that's actually a really bad thing for them because the longer this, I was going to say the longer this fight goes on, the better it is for their opponents who do have a med, but nope. Nope, they all died. So Blank right now is, what, he's on last. So he's just going to be sitting here waiting for the rest of his team to respawn, I guess. He's got to be careful here because if he wanted to, he could have positioned outside, but there's really no hiding spots outside. And he knew he was going to take on like 3 people, so good choice not to really try to contest the second. He would have just died. Never fun, but that's the way it is. And the sticky trap's coming in right now. So this is interesting. There's 6 above, 2 below. If they open this, they'll see the ones below, and they'll shoot those, and they'll think they've gotten in for free. And then maybe this trap actually gets some kills. I do always like how creative demos can get with their stickies, but you do see that most of the red team is going in upstairs, and I think they've called this out correctly. The scout thinks he can go in now, but they are going to call that detonation pretty soon. Oh, no! Sadly, the demo did have to try and stop the aggression from the top of the stairs, so took away those sticky traps from down below. Things never go like you want them to in Invite, but just the way it is. And you do see, of course, once again, in comes the crits. Not able to hit anything right away, and Blank comes in, tries to do some good damage, but Banny will take him down. You will see RR down as well. Nosferatu at 90% right now. HRG trying desperately to stop him from getting there, or just take the point. I think they can do it. The scout, though, just barely stopping these right now. Mike, oh no, can't stop it. So HRG 2 rounds in quick succession. That ties the score. The total score is now 3-3. And I think I've turned off my text, so you actually... Nope, there you go. Text is still on. 3-3, ladies and gentlemen. 26 minutes left to go, so we'll see whether or not anybody can score again. Of course, if nobody scores, then we have a golden cap situation, I think. But 26 minutes is a long time for nobody to score, so I'm pretty sure that somebody is going to be a winner before that happens. Who knows? Maybe not. I didn't actually check the score of this game or how many rounds was played on it. HRG's Banny trying to keep his opponents downstairs, feeling a little bit hurt. Feeling hurt. Not actually being hurt. That doesn't matter so much. Just matters to feeling hurt. Shade, are you on the crits again? Is he on the crits again? That looks like a regular med again. No, that's definitely a crits again, so we're going to watch the Banny cam because this is going to be pretty awesome. They usually are. Nosferatu at 90% though. Oh, this might be just a little bit too late if they can get him just barely in time. 97, 98, is it going to get... Oh, no! The Uber is just barely popped. They were expecting that one. So Banny's going to escape. Shade, though, is down. He's going to have to switch back to that regular Uber charge because the Kritzkrieg really is a surprise play, and once it's not a surprise anymore, you're done. HRG not too happy about that one. Now, I really wish we, at I-49, I would love to see the effect of the new weapon changes, you know, like the quick fix in action. I'd love to see all that stuff, but I don't think we're actually going to see it. Because Europeans ban everything, which is really sad. But whatever, it's okay. It'll sort of level the playing field. It might actually make it better for Euros, unless the Americans... Well, and we know the Australians are going to scrim, but unless the Americans decide to scrim too, in the European style. We'll see what happens, though. I really hope they do. I hope the rest of the invite teams in America, you know, buckle down and just say, hey, HRG, we want you to rep well. We want you to do well at I-49, so... please practice with us. We'll play a game with you, even though it's like off season, or even though it's like we're prepping for LAN or whatever. I really hope they get some prep in for this because it's going to be, it is going to be, you know, not the home team. Nosferatu just barely keep himself alive here, and watch what happens as this Uber fades. He is going to have to be very, very aware of where all the enemies are. So you see him backing off like this. He can't play terribly aggressive until his health regens much, much higher than it is now. But he should be okay because his team did manage to take enough territory to keep the enemies from getting on top of him. So there you go, back up above 100 health, just with that regular old medic regen. He is fine, ladies and gentlemen. Nosferatu is fine, but the Madmen are going to lose this point. Still, Shade must have just spawned or something because Nosferatu still has a nice Uber advantage after popping that. Not going to save his team, though, until he gets to 100%. So you see HRG starting to chase him down. And yeah, you're pretty much dead, Nosferatu. You are toast. Completely toast. 100% real toast. Nice kill by RR on Sizer, and you're going to see some scrappy playing now from the Madmen, but that's probably not the right choice as HRG are respawning, getting out of this point. Well, you know, Madmen actually managed to hold this for now, but that could be temporary as HRG realized they should have the man advantage right here. Sharger down, though. He tried the dodge, and it just didn't work that time. So, no more man advantage. HRG, I think, have backed out. Yeah, they realize what's happening. They're like, okay, well, I guess we thought we could contest that, but not going to happen. So, what happens now? Can the Madmen win another round? Can they keep themselves ahead in this game? It's tied at the moment. Mike jumping all the way around that rock. He's going to come and do some flank damage where nobody can shoot at him. Oh, never mind. He's going to get popped into the air, killed by tag. And Shade, meanwhile, is trying to use every healing tool available to him. That crossbow is so useful if you can hit the shots. Shade, of course, damaged right now, but nobody's really around to do any damage to him. He was at about 60 health at one point. Sizer did catch Nosferatu, which is too bad for the med. But you did see the possibility where if Nosferatu had decided just to sacrifice himself and gotten a really super clutch crossbow hit, he actually could have taken down Shade. Would have been hilarious, but it didn't happen. Instead, he just died. Like a chump. So, HRG going to push in here now, probably make this a 4-3 game. They will be ahead for, I think, the first time this game. Isn't that right? So, HRG, High Rollers Gaming, push in with the Uber. They Uber a scout right away. Sizer takes down a couple of players. And you're going to see Shrugger down in return. Not sure why that is. Why are they just Ubering Sizer? I don't know. This seems a little bit silly, actually, to only bring in the one player to Uber. And they may pay the price for it here. Lansky gets on the point. Going to do some good damage. I think HRG should be okay here. Does take down Simu, but with another respawn out of Mike, I think that's going to be it. Shade's just going for the kill on Nosferatu. That's not going to happen. Shade gets taken down. So that scout Uber, I am not sure whose idea it was, but it did not work. Gullywash last is hard to attack. I give you that. But that was weird. And you got Nosferatu now in a little bit of trouble. He actually didn't get shot at all. So this scout, Sizer, is in after him. It looks like he will get away. And he's going for the last point, actually. What? Okay, so High Rollers, I don't know what happened. Apparently RR doesn't know what happened either. Oh, man. Okay, well, that was pretty crazy. RR agreeing with me that that was just strange. There must have been some cap time on that point that I didn't even realize, but Sizer went in for a med pick and just turned that med pick somehow into a capture on the point. And that's the kind of thing you're going to see out of the Americans a lot. In fact, one of these scenes in the TF2 I-46 documentary, you're going to see some scrappy play out of, not, I think it's Clockwork, but it's, you know, those two have played a lot together. They know each other's play styles. They do some similar things, and you'll see some really amazing back caps at I-46 if you don't remember seeing I-46 last year. Crits coming in once again from HRG. This is not going to work. So they back out. Didn't really manage to get any kills with that. No. But yeah, you'll see a lot of back capping from the American teams. It's not a reliable strategy. So it's not like they're going to count on a back cap to win them games. It's just that they're so aware of all of their situations that I'm sure there's a better way to say that. They have such good situational awareness that if there is ever an opportunity presented by the defending team to give that back cap, they'll take it. And you saw that right there. Sizer was just like, oh, hey, I'm over here. May as well just try and get this point for... Oh, look, it worked. Nice little kill by Seymour. His team must have communicated, guys, that Demo Man is so hurt right now. So Seymour's like, okay, well, chase that one down. Madmen looking good. So Banny down means the Ubers are even. Actually, it's not an Uber. Oh, going for the kill. Does not manage to hit much there because they... The most they did with this Kritzkrieg, by the way, is just force the enemy to pop their Uber. So that resets things a little bit, or at least it should. Yeah, nobody dying just yet. Lansky down, Mike down. Shade still alive. Could have taken a sticky bomb hit there, which would have been in the danger zone. But no, Kenny Loggins does not need to make an appearance right now. Shade's going to be just fine. Still, what you're going to see is Shade will have the crits just a little bit earlier than his opponents have the Uber. His opponents realize he have a crits. So what is his thinking right now? Is it going to be, yes, let's be aggressive, let's try and get in their face? Or is it going to be, there's no point because they're going to, you know, they already know? I don't know. They're at 90%. Shade is getting aggressive, so they are going to try and push this forward. But by now, they have to know what's coming. And Nosferatu, 98%. No damage coming out of this crit so far. Oh, Nosferatu! Did he drop? What happened? Nos is down. And now HRG with 3 players left. Can they defend this point? If they can, it's going to be it. They've got a sentry up. That is going to be a pretty good choice. Because their opponents are going to have to take down not just the sentry, but they're going to have to take down Sizer himself as well. Sizer does switch back to scout, so now that the sentry's gone, they've got a scout to stop this. Yeah, I'm liking it. The Madmen thought they saw an opportunity, even though their med was down, and no, sir, the engineer play was just too strong. Too strong indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, while we're watching HRG reconquer several points that were lost to them in the past, I guess we should go over one more time, for those of you who aren't aware of the situation, why I have not been making videos. And frankly, it's because I'm done. I'm pretty much done making videos. The only reason I'm making these right now is because I have been asked to cast at I-49. I'm happy to do so. I want to make sure that I'm in prime form and I recognize all the teams and I know who I'm talking about when I get there, so I'm not like, oh, hey guys, I haven't casted for 5 months and I'm really rusty, but I hope I'm doing good. Anyway, that's why. So, that's why I'm casting a game. I'm trying to cast pretty much stuff in preparation for I-49. And that's it. That's why I'm making videos. Otherwise, I pretty much don't make videos anymore. Because it takes me a good 2 to 3 hours to make one, all told. Even though I really just cold cast them, it is still quite a time-intensive process. And these days, with all the other stuff I'm doing in my life, I don't have time. So I have moved on to basically greener pastures for myself. I'm quite happy with my casting career. TF2 itself never quite flew off the handle the way I was hoping it would, but it is getting a lot bigger, and that's really cool. So anyway, like I said, I'm happy with how my casting career turned out. I know I've always got a few people who will watch anything I throw out there, which is pretty cool for you, all those of you who have watched my vids in the past. I'm happy that it turned out really well. I made a few mistakes along the way. I'm not perfect, but I don't know. Maybe it's just not worth talking about the mistakes. Maybe it is. I don't know. Here comes the Ubers. Uber Exchange should be pretty good for the Madmen. The crit sticks and crit pills not doing any damage. So HRG, yeah, this crit's starting to really be a liability for them. The Madmen realize it's happening. Banny and Lansky both down. The Bansky combo is off the field, so that's most of their damage down. Let me tell you, as far as actual esports to watch, TF2's got to be one of the best ones. Really. I'm not saying this is a biased thing anymore. And I haven't watched COD. I'll give you that. So maybe COD's cooler. But I have watched StarCraft, and StarCraft, I would say, is like the gold standard. Because the game is perfectly paced, and everything is visible, so as far as spectator sport goes, StarCraft is probably the gold standard. But TF2, a lot better than most of the other stuff that's out there. I did watch the EVE Online Alliance Tournament finals today between Pandemic Legion and Hydra Reloaded, and those were, it were good matches, and especially because I know what I'm looking at in EVE. But if you don't know what you're looking at in EVE, there's no point to watching. There is literally no point. So basically, the only people who were watching were people who already knew the game. With TF2, maybe that's similar. I don't know. Maybe it's only people who know the game who watch, but I would hope that TF2 is a little bit more accessible to the masses than something as super technical as EVE Online. And I will say that because of how technical it is, EVE Online does not lend itself to my style of casting, where it's just like somebody shooting the breeze the whole time. Because you really have to know, like, okay, well, this ship probably fit this way, but let's look for this effect on it. Oh, well, maybe it's not fit this way. Oh, well, that means it's going to have more damage. Ah, of course. No, it's tiny little things like that that really add up. Whereas in TF2, it's just like, they have hats, they shoot each other, RR with a nice little strafe to keep himself alive, just a little bit longer, dealt some damage, so it was actually pretty good. I think he killed Shrugger. Now with TF2, yes, okay, players' views are whipping around a lot, but you can generally see, like, that guy shot a rocket at that guy, and it hit him. And I know what that means. Memphis Vaughn shooting rockets around the corner, just trying to keep people from getting through there. I know what that means. It's easy enough. I can see the outlines of all the players. I can't tell what player's what sometimes, but I generally know that if players are moving in one direction and their opponents are moving the other way, something's going to happen. I don't know. Maybe this is a really bad spectator sport, but I like it. Shade with the Uber and or crits. Is he still running crits? He is still running crits. And this time around, it has gotten one kill. Not a lot else. Nice! There you go. Blank will get taken down by the Shrugger shot. Crit meat shots out of HRG. So they managed to turn that crits into something totally transform it, I'm sorry, from something totally worthless into something that at least gave them a couple of decent picks. And they're still staying in. So they have successfully stopped the Madmen from capping this point. They're trying to keep this combo out. And there you go, stopping the retreat of Memphis Vaughn. HRG could almost get in here. Shrugger is playing a dangerous game right now, but I think he'll be okay. He's going to go meet up with Sizer over on the flank. Just start watching that. There's really nobody there for them to shoot at, so he actually could get in. Here comes a scout, though, so that's going to be a little bit different. Yeah, he can hide there, but, I mean, this is invite. They're going to know he's there. Crits coming in, and that is a poor pop, because basically nobody is going to... nobody's going to come in. Lansky gets taken down. Just that tiny bit of fall damage was enough, because somebody hit him with a shotgun shell in midair, I think. You've got Sizer defending his med from the bombing Memphis Vaughn. And pretty much HRG is going to have to abandon this once again. How much time is left in this game right now? Because right now it's 4-3, basically. High rollers are ahead. And we have a pause. Okay, that was a weird pause. Sorry about that. This game so far has really been a nail-biter, though. And if you're anything like me, you are pretty much not going to have any fingernails left after this one. That is the definition of nail-biter. But it's okay. Fingernails grow back. You'll be perfectly fine. Got RR back in through here. Actually, so I know a guy who was in the military. One of his toenails was gone, and it didn't grow back, and it just looks really gross now. Anyway, fingernails aside, in comes another Kritzkrieg, not doing the damage once again, although he does take down Blank. Quite a useful thing to do. And they are using this crit. Oh, Nosferatu down. So HRG may just use crits for the rest of the game. I don't know how much time is actually left. And of course that 0-0 is oh, the whole HUD's broken. Anyway, we're going to see the HUD remain broken for a while. But the HUD doesn't even tell you the right... Okay, come on. There you go. The HUD doesn't even tell you the right time left anyway, because ESEA matches use a different timer. It's like a different variable. It doesn't show up correctly. I don't know. So, you are going to see HRG try and make a push once again. Don't know how close Shade is to Uber, but it sounds like he's got it, or at least nearly does. Yep, there you go. He does have the crits ready to go. Don't know if Nosferatu is going to have anything to counter this, but they will try and be really aggressive in the face of this. There you go. That's going to be Mike with a huge kill on Banny. Got Shrugger down. Blank is chasing people around here with the skill stick once again. It looks like there's only one man left. It is Tag, and somebody just spawned. That's going to be, of course, Lansky. But no, you're going to have the Madmen pushing right back out. So HRG, they're still ahead. They could just try and park the bus at this point. We'll see what happens. Parking the bus, the ubiquitous TF2 phrase that means trying to just defend, never attack for as long as possible, because you know your head, you know that if your opponents can't push into you, then you're going to win. But that's not what they're doing right now. Tag going straight for the second point once again. So they realize they can be a little bit aggressive here for whatever reason. Of course, we don't know how many players are alive because this stupid HUD is stupid broken. Maybe broke for the rest of the game at this point. Sorry. I guess we just hold this up the whole time, though. Yeah, look at this. There you go. You got Team HRG. You got Team Madmen. Rinku? Brian? What? Okay, well, that's the thing. You've got HRG looking pretty good, actually. They can push this in. I think both teams are going to have an Uber very shortly here. I also think that it would not surprise me if Fanny has another crits. So they are pushing this in right now. Sticks are coming out. Of course, it's going to be very obvious that he's coming from this direction. And no crits pop yet. Will it be a crit rocket? Will it be a crit anything? I don't know. Looks like it, in fact, will not. And Tag was trying to go in and force a pop or something. Shrugger as well. Lansky as well. Oh, this is not good. You're going to have to retreat Banny and Shade out of here because they didn't get any kills. They did force a pop. And now the question is, can they actually do anything with this Uber of their own? Banny needs to reload, apparently. So they haven't popped it yet because they don't like positioning or something. Oh, it is a regular Uber, so it is definitely not a crit. That's why they're holding on to it so much, because they really want to win this round with this Uber. They could put it to 5-3 and just put the game away right now. They're waiting for their respawns to get up, and it looks like they actually still own the second point. I like that. I like that a lot. Very smart play by HRG. And, I mean, they're just expert. Shade is so good at keeping the Uber alive whenever they need it. So we're going to see the Uber coming in pretty soon. Lansky gets a kill. Shrugger's down. Banny coming in trying to deal with damage. Not hitting all these pipes yet, but he does. A good one on the enemy demo. That's RR. A lot of cap time getting on this point, but there's just not enough red players left. Banny trying to do the damage is not going to be enough. HRG has to retreat what's left of their players, which is really just two, Banny and Shrugger. I think Shrugger may have been a respawn. So Banny's going to escape. Good sticky lay. Placed it, in case you didn't see, right here where this big explosive, whatever you call it, char scoring is. What I don't know. Put it right there because he knew that scout was going to chase him down. I mean, that's expert demo play right there. He's just like, yep, we're gonna stop that scout from chasing me while I'm in midair.
I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have even thought to do that, but he placed it pretty expertly. So HRG losing players once again, having to retreat. The Madmen are on a rampage right now, and they know they have to get this point if they're going to tie things up. How much time is left, though, we still don't know. Very possible that this could go the rest of the game without another score, in which case that would be a victory to High Rollers Gaming. The team is going to I-49, representing the United States. On the other hand, the Madmen, you know, they may have something to prove. They have a chip on their shoulder. I don't even think they were around for the land that decided which team it was going to be. But the way we decided who was going to go to I-49 was the most recent ESEA LAN tournament, where 4 invite teams entered and 1 was crowned victorious. That's how we decided. And these games are all played after that tournament, so this is a new season. But it was HRG with, I think, pretty much the same roster, rocking it. They managed to stop Memphis Vaughn from getting that bat cap and tying it up. HRG just barely, by the skin of their teeth, keeping themselves ahead in this game. Our HUD still not working at all. I'm not happy about that. We're actually taking just a tiny little bit of chip damage. He'll be perfectly fine. You've got the Uber coming in, and it looks like Madmen realized that's not a good thing. So they will go ahead and back up once again. Sizer. Wait, I think Madmen were... I think I actually called that HRG were defending there, and it wasn't HRG. It was Madmen defending that one. Okay, well anyway, Madmen keeping the game from being over is what I meant to say. Uber's still ready to go for the Madmen. I've never actually watched that TV show, by the way. Somebody tell me about it. Just in the comments right now, tell me, is it worth watching? Because I don't have TV. Like, I don't have a cable subscription or anything, so I would actually have to go on to, like, Hulu or something and buy Hulu Plus or Netflix or whatever just to watch the Madmen. I don't know if I want to do that. See, that's the thing. So you got to convince me here. You really got to convince me in the comments. But I very much doubt that most of you are still watching at this point, because this particular cast has just been like one rambling, irrelevant story after another. Anyway, for those of you who still are, I guess congratulations, because you are about to see the winner. I hope pretty soon you're about to see the winner, and we'll see whether that winner is actually the one that's going to be repping America as well. The American team. I want to get at least one Australian game cast too. I want to get Team Immunity, because they're the ones who are going to I-49 repping Australia. I want to get their play style booked on my channel as well, but we'll see what happens. Right now I'm at 20 FPS for some reason. What the hell's going on? Okay, now I'm at 25. I guess that's a little better. And there is an Uber ready to go, and Sizer has gotten the kill on RR. Both teams, of course, had the Uber. I think RR was just trying to go for a little bit of a making space play. And my gosh, by the way, guys, if you haven't casted in a while and then you cast an hour-long game, be prepared for your voice box to just... My throat hurts right now. That's what's happening. HRG, though, can they get this defense sorted out? Looks like they will. In fact, they're being really aggressive with this defense, and I don't know how much health our soldier here has, but it doesn't matter. He's going to force the pop out of Nosferatu. Nosferatu the Vampire. Isn't that like a Romanian thing? I don't know. It's one of those Eastern European names for a vampire. I'm pretty sure. Like, I recall seeing an old movie poster for Nosferatu the Vampire once. It was vampire spelled with a Y. So you could tell this was old. Like, old movie poster. Maybe 1930s or 40s. Probably one of those, like... Probably one of the newfangled talkies, I imagine. You know, where they actually were able to incorporate voice. Oh, Shade walking onto a rocket. That's what happens. But there's only 2 players left alive. It's Blank and Nosferatu. They're both together. They are not able to get a bat cap going right now. Memphis is saying exactly what we're all thinking about Shade. He is, in fact, a slippery medic. He's extremely good at what he does. And that's going to be one of the biggest assets that America takes over to Europe, is really just that med right there. And his survivability, because there are so many games, even at the last I-46, that big England tournament that we're releasing a documentary about, he was so slippery, no matter who they were playing against. There were games where Shade, it was like entire 30 minutes he would go almost without dying, maybe have 1 death. And it's just like, how does he do it? Nobody knows. But when you get those kind of games, it means that your team has so many more Ubers than your opposing team, unless like neither med dies, which never happens. So
I mean, Shade's good. He's just really good. You still have HRG on defense right now, but Shade, finally my my HUD is fixed. I like this. And Shade is at 95% Uber. I don't know why I went with a German pronunciation of percent there, but it just felt right. HRG gonna have to back off from this once again. Even though they have the Uber, they've lost a couple of players, especially Banny. Losing your demo man, especially when you've got the best demo man possibly in America, the world, whatever you want to call it. It's not a good thing. Sizer's gonna go ahead and set up another sentry gun. An interesting choice. Because they've got the Uber advantage. So you know what I think is happening here is HRG has just started to say, you know what, guys? Time must be running out. We know we're not going to get that last point captured, so we're just going to go for an all-out turtle defense until time runs out. We'll see whether that works. Sizer has managed to get his sentry almost to level 2. I don't think he got it to level 2. Maybe he thought there was going to be an attack, so he went ahead and grabbed the metal. He's going to go ahead and set up level 2 down here, so his opponent saw where the sentry was being set up, but now it has moved. And you are going to see that's quite an interesting play. I don't know if Sizer's actually going to go for... No, he's not. He is not going to try and build that up. He doesn't care if the sentry actually has the ability to shoot rockets or not. He doesn't care about that extra health on it. All he cared about there was that he built level 2 quickly where nobody could get to it. There you go. Now he's going to go ahead and level that up just for the added HP so that it takes maybe like one more rocket or one more chip shot to kill it. Or no, was he just repairing it? I don't even know. He's kind of playing a weird engineer style right now, so those of you who main engineers, tell me why he's doing that, because there is a reason for it, I'm sure. Now, he's not just not building level 3 because it's for fun. I know that level 2 is set up and deploy faster. So, sentry gun still up as far as I know. Didn't do a lot of damage there to that incoming Uber, of course, because Uber might get invincible. But there you go. Sentry is up now, doing a pretty good job of defending. Kept RR out of that fight. Blank is down to Lansky. You are going to see the Madmen trying once again to rotate this back in, but the Uber is not going to favor them right now. Still, they're going to build it up the backfield. They're going to take a little bit of time. They don't have a lot left, it seems like, because they really are being aggressive. And Tag jumps on top of RR, finishes him off. That is going to be HRG, I think, with another victorious defense here. Are they going to push out on this, though? Oh, it would be a bad idea. And you do see both scouts trying to chase in, get the kill on Shade. Shade's he's good. He's good enough to keep himself alive. Yes, as the 2 scouts for his team finish things off. Blank jumping in, trying to get that last point. No, it's not going to happen. Shrugger with the shot, finishing him off. RR is going to try and jump out here, maybe stop this capture, but it's probably going to be too late as the HRG scouts have pushed on to the second point. Here comes the potentially the final battle to determine who's going to win this game, assuming that the times are what they are. And I think they are just because of how desperate Madmen seem. Yes, they're calling GG right now. I think that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. That was a desperate attempt by the Madmen to finish things off, but it is too late. They're calling it. So we're just going to wait until time runs out. There it is. Whoa, sorry. I clicked the wrong button. I am so not used to casting. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that has been TF2 with Sal. Looking forward to I-49, and if you're going to the biggest TF2 LAN on the planet, well, I will see you in Telford.